Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Here we are on a cloudy day, a little bit misty out. Ain't too bad though. It's not winter yet, so I need to use up some of my paint before it gets too cold to paint. So, what am I doing today? I'm going to be putting some paint on the house. We have wood siding, so it needs to be painted every once in a while. Otherwise, it starts falling apart and rotting. Yeah. Hey, Frazier. Thanks for joining. Got on nice and quick there. All right. I'm going to be painting on the house today. Yeah. We got a cat here. I think this cat wants to turn into a blue cat. Oh, yeah. There we go. There's Kaka the cat. He doesn't look so happy hearing that he's going to turn blue. Oh, getting dirty. Good thing I'm wearing dirty clothes. I already got my hands blue. Look at that. So I already opened up the big paint bucket. All right. Thanks for waiting, and thanks for joining. Yeah, we got a lot of cats around here, but yeah, that one's cute. That's Kaka. I think some of his other names are Burrito. No, it's Dorito because he's like orange like a Dorito. Okay, so I opened up the. There he is. See it? He's about to turn blue. All right, I opened up the big. We bought a 5-gallon bucket of paint because on the house here it takes a lot of paint. The wood splitter's doing good. I was looking at that thinking if maybe I should do some wood splitting today. Maybe. We got a little more time to do wood splitting. There's Kaka on the ladder. Because we can wood split when it's cold out, but we can't paint when it's cold out. So I figure it's probably beneficial to do a little bit of painting because our 5-gallon bucket was like really expensive. I was trying to remember how much we paid and I can't remember, but it was too much, way too much. Paint's too expensive. So I don't want it to, I put it in an ice cream pail here, got a brush. I don't want the paint to harden and congeal over winter. Oh, Kaka's gonna knock the camera down. He's just having all kinds of fun today. I think the paint will be okay over the winter as long as I don't leave it outside in the garage where it'll freeze. If I bring it inside, maybe I should put some cling wrap over it. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I want to use it since we bought it because the longer you leave it unused, the worse the paint gets. So I don't want to just not paint when I've got paint ready and waiting. So let me show you. Let's get a little closer and I'll show you here. Whoa, I'm stepping on Kaka. There he goes. I don't know why he's sitting under my feet. All right, so let me get you nice and close here. And let's take a look. Oh, uh-oh. Does that look the same? Maybe it will dry to the same color. No, it won't. It won't. I'll show you. I'll show you a section. There we go, up on the roof. It's kind of dark and gray out today, so it's not so easy to see colors, but hey, there's our old windows. There we go. See the corner? Yeah. The color doesn't match. It needs to be darker. But you know what? It's too late now. That's what happens when you take a picture of your paint with your phone. Then you go to the store and you try and match the color off the picture in your phone. That's what happens. It doesn't match. The problem is the old buckets of paint that we used to have, they're so old. Yeah, it'll work. It's so old that we couldn't read the labels anymore. The labels were no longer visible. So we had no clue what the previous color we bought was. So we had to try and match it, and a little bit bright. So what I'm going to do is, for now, because I only have one 5-gallon pail, I'm going to do sections that kind of look like a pattern. And then when we buy more paint, we'll decide, do we want to paint the whole house this color? Or do we want to make a pattern, a design where we go this bright blue, highlighting, accenting certain areas of the house, and the darker blue doing the large flat areas. That's the plan so far. Is we're probably going to do the darker area and the large flat areas, because that actually might be a little too bright for the whole house. If the whole house was boom, super bright blue, you'll see it from space. So we got paint. It's not necessarily the right color. I'm hearing animals. Oh yeah, there's cats in the garage. Let me open this door. Might see some cats sneak out. When I was getting the paint, get it so you can see the door. When I was getting the paint, there we go. Look at that. There's a cat. Um, Several cats snuck into the garage door when I had it open mixing it. Oh, this one's gonna lick the paint. And I had to close the door because otherwise the garage will be full of chickens pooping everywhere. I don't want that. There's two cats. They look the same, but there's two of them. There they are. Oh, sure. Now you only see one. There they are. There's two. It is. I look like Peppa Pig. Yeah, yeah. Um, Squirmy and Q-Tip. Squirmy and Q-Tip. Pretty soon, I might look like Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf, because I've got blue paint here. I don't think Peppa Pig has a beard. I don't know if I'm going to keep the beard. I've never had a beard this long before. I don't know if I like it or not. It might disappear today, and it might not. Okay, so let's slap some paint on here. So because I'm just doing sections, my thought is, here, I'll show you. Let's back up, and I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing here. So around the door, I was thinking of putting blue just around the door. I think I'll have to go all the way up to the top there, because I'll never draw a line straight across. So I was thinking either the width that I already have it there, or out to that seam. I'm thinking out to that seam, and then we'll go all the way up, all the way across. I'm trying to watch in the camera, which is backwards, and then all the way down on that seam right there. And so then the door will be surrounded by bright blue. And maybe I'll paint the door too. It's not the right paint to paint a metal door, but it's not like that door looks any good right now anyways. It's a pretty junky door, so making it bright blue. Am I a good painter? Not really. No, I'm not. I overlap. I miss. Another cat just went in the garage. We don't want cats to go in. We want them to come out. So if I mess up here, does it matter too much? Look who's going to see. Nobody. The chipmunks, the squirrels, and the rabbits. Don't paint the cats. I won't paint the cats, but they might get into it themselves. The first day, maybe the second day that I opened the bucket of paint, I was refilling. So I opened the big 5-gallon pail, and I have like a cup that I dip in there and scoop into here, because I don't want to just be painting right out of the 5-gallon pail. It'll all congeal and go bad. So I had the bucket open and I was dumping some in here. I got enough in here that day I'm talking about that full. Don't want too full, especially if that handle breaks. And so then I'm cleaning up the lid and the stir stick because it's like I had to stir it and then it's like dripping everywhere. So I'm cleaning it up. I'm over by the garbage can throwing in my mess. And I turn around and the white geese got into the big 5 gallon paint pail. They didn't get into it, but they were playing with it. And they like dipped their beak in and splashed it everywhere and they were all blue. And they stayed blue. I think one of them is still partially blue, and that was like a month and a half ago. No, we have other parts. So I think we're gonna paint around that window. So like the corners. So that's the other thing. Like way over there, you saw there was a corner I painted. I think I'll paint that corner and maybe that whole stubby wall where that red window is. And then see that decorative piece up there? Let me point right up there. I think that would look good in bright blue. Maybe even that whole I can't I can't point properly since everything's inverse on the thing here. There, I'll do it this way. That whole section right there. I might paint that, but that's going to require going on the roof, and I probably won't do that on a live stream because they'll just be awfully difficult. Oh, the cats are climbing the trees. Oh, good. They came down from the trees. We don't want the cats way up there. I'm not going up there to rescue them. What kind of paint? This is Menards paint. I think it's Dutch Boy. I think it's Dutch Boy. It's exterior, and I think this is flat. I should have gone with probably satin or eggshell. Something with a little more shininess, especially if I'm ending up just doing like accent areas with this. I think it would have looked a little nicer if it was a little shinier. The flat paint wears out sooner. It's like a little bit chalky. The glossy is really shiny, and that lasts really long too, though. So I think if we ever buy this again to touch up these areas I'm doing, I think I'll go with a little shinier sheen just because it lasts a little better. All right, let's get some paint on here. So I think we decided we're going to go up to that line right there. All right, can you guys see that? Yeah, all right. Yeah. This paint's doing pretty good. There's some areas of the house where the paint is peeling really bad. I must have repainted this the proper color not too many years ago. I do have a second brush. And actually, because it's no. Cats are trying to lick it. I do have that one. I should probably do that one because that one's bigger and this is a big flat area. Yeah, thanks for reminding me about additional brushes. I'm just going to try and clean that off. Unfortunately, now it's going to dry. And this was the one I cleaned my stir stick with. So just set it down. Hope the cats don't get into it. Let's get the bigger brush. All right. Stir it in the paint. Unfortunately, I can't tilt the pail enough for you guys to see it. I could tilt the camera, but my hands are full. All right, got a bunch of paint on there. And once I get it all dipped full of paint, I like to rotate it a little bit, making sure it's all use only light. The straight strips are too light. Use only light. The straight strips are too light. I don't know, not quite sure what your meaning there. This gets tricky as I get to the edge there. You don't want to go over. Whoops. Went over just a hair. Not too bad though. I don't think we'll see it. Um, Frank Rizzo. No, I did not see that. I heard about it, but I intentionally did not go out there looking for that. Like, don't use a lot of force because when you harden your grip, it looks darker. Oh, okay. Well, I do want it on kind of thick because the point of this is to weather protect the house. The color's secondary. Yeah, absolutely. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Yeah, and and all the other people who are victims of violence. Whoops. It's a good thing I'm not painting inside. I just dropped a big drop down on the ground on top of an extension cord that the kids had plugged in for Halloween lights. But thankfully, we're outside, so it doesn't matter as much. And I'm wearing old clothes, so if I get paint on me, which I probably will, it's not so bad. All right. Thanks for subbing. Not sure how to say your name. Erbueo. Yeah. What were their costumes? Well, um, it's not Halloween yet. My kids like to prepare early. As soon as it turned September, I think they started putting up the Halloween decorations. They put up lights, like a spider web type thing, so an inflatable spider. Um, what were their costumes last year, though? Let me think. That's a very good question. I think some of them were just like made up costumes. They weren't really meant to be anything in particular, but some of them did actually like dress up as something, like maybe Ghostbusters, a Ghostbusters person. That might have been something either last year or the year before. So yeah, I want to get this paint on nice and thick because I want a thick coating because it's a wood siding. We're not doing this just to make the house look nice. I mean, that's a side effect, but we want to cover that wood so it doesn't get rotten from the rain and the snow. And where there's cracks here, I'm trying to get some of the paint in the crack. Yes, this is my main house. We live here. Um, it was a fixer-upper house. We bought it in 2016, and talking about paint. Shortly after we moved in, the insurance company reached out and said, "Yeah, we're going to drop your insurance because we see there's peeling paint and moss on the roof." And then, like the same day or the next day, the bank hits us up and they're like, "We heard your insurance company's dropping you." So it's a requirement of your mortgage that you have home insurance. So since your insurance company dropped you, you need to either get insurance through a different company, or we're going to provide your insurance, which is like super expensive, like $1,000 a week, or we're going to repossess your house. That's not what we want to hear like a month after we moved into our new house, used house, old house. So yeah, we had to hastily paint the whole house within 30 days because the insurance company gave us 30 days. They're like, "We'll give you 30 days. We'll come and reinspect it. And if we're happy, you wouldn't have lost coverage at all. We'll have covered you the whole time, and then we'll continue to cover you. If we're not happy, then your insurance company or in your insurance would have been done as of 30 days ago. And that's unfair. So we actually had to buy a second insurance for that month just in case the insurance company said, "No, we don't like it. Your insurance lapsed 30 days ago." That wouldn't have been good because then that would have been a violation of our mortgage. So for 1 month we had double insurance, and they came out and they were happy with it. We did a ton of work painting the whole house. That was a ton of work, but we did it. So we had to scrape because there's a lot of peeling paint, which was the complaint, and then we had to paint. We did try using a sprayer for a while, but it just kept clogging. So here I am with a paintbrush. If we're doing large areas, I'd use a roller. It's a little bit cold out today. It's cold and cloudy. Oh, the cats are showing themselves in the garage. I would say it's low 50s today. Winter's coming. It's fall. You guys see that? Probably not. Let me go up higher. And what's nice about this is my house. Nobody's hiring me to do this. And we live in the middle of nowhere, middle of the country. There's two other houses on our block. The block is a mile long. Yeah, I got a ladder right here. So 1 mile, in 1 mile, there's three houses and none across the road. It's all just farm fields. So if I mess it up, nobody's going to see. Right now, I got these stairs I can stand on. But yeah, I can't reach that. So at some point, I'll have to get on the ladder. You're going to see. You're right. You're right about nobody's going to see. You are. Um, and that could be a lot more people than people driving down the road. But also, what's nice about it, it's just paint. If you mess up, just wait till it dries. Thank you. You just wait till it dries and then you repaint it. Yeah, paint's not the end of the world. As long as you're not doing it as a job that somebody's paying you to do. Just trying to get the camera so you can see up there. It's a little hard to be on the ladder and have you see me at the same time. Now I'm in an awkward position, so you'll probably see me dripping it all over my head. Oop. I got the trusty thing. Trusty blue rags here. I'll just get back on this thing. Starting to look good. Get in those cracks nice and good. Definitely want to get in those cracks. Yeah, it probably will take a while. Don't feel obligated you have to watch. Amazingly. Thanks for joining. Hi. Painted my house here. Can you tell how accurately that color matches? That's what happens when you just take a picture on your phone and try and match the color at the store. Nope, I'm in the United States, Wisconsin in the United States. Probably about 9:30 in the morning, maybe, somewhere around there. Awesome, Cameron, thanks for watching from the UK. Yeah, you know what? Even if I'm not in the same area as you, paint is paint and it works around the world. Starting to get a little high up now. Pretty soon I'm going to have to get on that ladder. Support from Asia. Oh, awesome. Yeah, you guys are watching from all over the place. That must be like late evening over there. I don't know if you can see that since I angled you up. Probably not. It's 4 p.m. over here in the UK. You're in the future. Yes, you are. Mr. Yunao Tahu Walik. Suwandi. Awesome. It's night there. Wow. Yeah. So it's Wednesday today. It's so pretty. It is looking nice. It's Wednesday today. Now, normally I'd be at work. 11:04 p.m. Yeah. Normally I'd be at work 9:30 a.m. or, well, since it's 04, it's probably 10:04. Time flies. But I'm on call and I got called out like all night last night practically. So, and then I got woken up early by another call, but it was like 20 minutes till the day shift went in. So hopefully the day shift's taking care of it. So here I am. Since I already put in a lot of hours at work last night, I'm doing some stuff at home. And depending on what's going on, I might have to go in later, but that's later. Right now, here I am painting my house. Oh, I hear cats in the garage. Let's let those cats out. I had it open so they could get out, but they shut the door. I see one. All right, there we are. Oh, a couple cats. That one is Squirmy. Squirmy the cat. The ground's not even here, so it's hard to find a spot to set the camera. We had construction done on the house after we moved in, and they did a really bad job at finishing the job. They basically didn't finish. All right, I need to get the low end there, so let's tilt you down here. There, that you can see me paint that area right there. These cats are going to be interested in it, I bet. Right there you can see, oh, there's going to be a blue cat, I think. If you can see, there's no wood there. Well, it's a good question. Anyone here to help me? My kids are homeschooled, so they're actually inside right now, supposed to be doing homeschool. I did get a text from my wife about 5 minutes ago saying one of them's being non-compliant. Hopefully he's complying now. Otherwise I might have to go see what he's doing. They're supposed to be doing history right now. So the reason we're doing this is so that the wood doesn't rot. So there's a missing board down there because it rotted out. We had to cut it out. And over there's rotten boards right there. There and there. So that's what happens when I don't paint on time, is they rot. So as you can see under this window, a little bit of mess, but under the window is brand new boards. So what I need to do someday is shave off those boards probably right there and put in a new section. Not today though. Today we're going to cover them with paint to keep them from rotting more. It is old. It's at least 1950, maybe a little older. And the previous people didn't paint it as often as they were supposed to, which was probably one of the reasons we got it for the price we got it, because it needed repair. And I'm making sure to get paint underneath the bottom of the board by scraping like this. And that way the bottom gets protected too. Putting blood and sweat into this paint job. Yeah. Of course, half the time I'm not painting. Half the time I'm talking. There we go. I think now it's time to get on the ladder. Okay, let's see how we can set you guys so you can see me, so you're not just looking at my back standing on the ladder. Well, that's almost too far away, because then you can't see the paint. We got weeds here. I'm sticking you in weeds. And of course, the weeds make the tripod want to fall. I wish it could rotate. There we go. Step it down. Hopefully the cats don't knock you over. There. I think that'll work. It's working. It's going to be a little tricky once I need to move over because of those stairs. There's stairs in the way. We'll get a little closer. Oops. A little bit of oops there. Nobody's gonna know except you guys. Okay, I think I need to move over a little now. Got a nice good coat on there. Brush towards you. Yeah, I was in a really awkward position there. Let me see how we can set up this part. See if the ladder goes over the steps. We got these steps here. I should paint those. Not with house paint though. We'd need oil-based paint for that. And not today. Make sure the ladder's nice and stable. Because the ground is not even here. It does fit perfectly. Oops, I guess it was a little squishy there. It is not. It is an extendable ladder. So in a pinch, I can actually raise it even higher. It's adjustable. It can be a straight ladder or an A-frame like this. Still in kind of an awkward position. A lot of it is because I'm trying to face the camera. If I didn't care about what it looked like, I would just face the wall. But then you guys would just be looking at my back the whole time. I figure this is more friendly. Because who wants to just stare at the back of someone painting? Oh, there's a cat below me. Hopefully it doesn't get dripped on. I'm glad this isn't 100 feet up in the air. That'd be no fun. Although I was doing it up on the roof about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, somewhere around there. And I need to go up there and do more. Not today though. I don't feel like going on the roof. I think I need to move the ladder again, or at least get on that side maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Get on that side. Why move the ladder if I don't need to? All right. Bob Ross. Yeah, Bob Ross. Painting the world. I know this isn't nearly as exciting as the cars or the wood splitter. Oh, you can't see the paint if I put you there. But unfortunately, unfortunately, that's what life is all about. I don't always get to do the fun stuff. Sometimes I got to do boring stuff. It's relaxing. Good, good. Oop. Ladder's a little loose. I don't need to get up high though, so it doesn't matter. Well, it would matter if I fall, but it's not. It's nothing scary. Gotta go up one more though. Yep. It's a three-legged ladder right now. One of the legs is floating. So I'm just going to make sure I hold on to it in case it shifts while I'm lifting up. All right, we're going over to that mark right there. Of course, you guys can't see it because my head's in the way probably. Almost done with the upper area, then we can get off the ladder. I can't see what you're saying if you're talking. I'll be down in a minute. Almost done with the high part. Which really isn't all that high. Not compared to on the roof. There we go. I think I can get off the ladder now. Make sure that's painted good up there. All right, coming down. Hey, that was like perfect timing. The camera fell like right when I got to it. Probably because I stepped on the weeds and the weeds made it fall. Yeah, this, as you can see, every time I try and move the camera, I've got to set it down like 6 times. One of these days I have to put some fill back here. Let's take a look, I'll show you here. So here's where I'm standing. It's just kind of weedy, uneven, and then it drops off. That area over there is probably 6 feet lower than I am. And this area had construction right after we bought the house, and they didn't backfill it. The contractors didn't finish the job, and we had to finish it. And so I backfilled it with my old tractor, which doesn't haul dirt very good. Oh, I couldn't quite reach it. I thought I could reach it. Painting the house. Pretty good crack there. I don't know if I can get the brush in this crack. No. I'm gonna need a sprayer for that someday, or a smaller brush. And now I'm painting left-handed. It looks like my right hand to you guys, but that's my left hand. I'm not left-handed. It's good to use your left-handed once in a while, though. Supposedly it helps with your brain. Yeah, if the paint falls, I'll have to buy more. I don't want to buy more. Paint's so expensive. Of course, I will have to buy more because a 5-gallon bucket of paint isn't enough to paint the whole house. I'm not buying any more this year, though. We're running out of warm weather, which is too bad. It's too bad because more of the house needs to be painted, and there's so many other projects to work on too. So it's amazing. I don't know what day it is today, like the 22nd, 25th, something like that. It's late September. We have not had any frost yet here. That's awesome. Of course, it doesn't really matter anymore. I haven't gone in the garden in weeks. I gave up on it this year. But normally we have frost by mid-September. Sometimes we can get it early September where I live. And here we are. We're almost October with no frost yet. That's awesome. I like that. Trying to squeeze it into the cracks. We got some cracks. Needs to be caulked. We're almost done with this section. Painting the rotten area now. Definitely gonna have to cut off this rotten area and put new boards there. Cobwebs, I don't want them in my paint. Almost done with this area. Okay. Wow, there we go. Finally. Let's see how it looks. There. There. To there. Yeah. That's a lot of wall. I got weeds in my gutter. There's so much stuff to do. Okay, let's go over by this window. Let's paint that one. Not the window itself, though, hopefully. There's so many weeds here. Where can I put the camera? Nope. Nope. Maybe. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, why is that laying out here? I think the kids found it out in the woods. The previous owners must have put it there. Then they set it out here. And I guess for lack of better spot, I'm gonna go set it on the ground again. Just not in my way this time. All right. I see our dryer vent cap is gone. I better put one over there again. Actually, we don't even have a dryer vent anymore. Why don't we have a dryer vent? Because we bought a new heat pump dryer. It does not vent to outside. It's like a super, super, super expensive dryer that's supposed to use less than half the amount of electricity as the normal electric dryer. We did that because our electric bills were huge. They were way too much. Like they've been over $500 a month some months. And replacing the dryer with a heat pump dryer didn't make any noticeable difference on the bill. So then we replaced our hot water heater. Made no difference. We replaced our well pressure tank last fall. That made a difference for 2 months, and then it went back up. Yeah. Finally, a little over a month ago, we unplugged the dehumidifier. Well, we just shut it off. And then we unplugged the floor fan, and that dropped it by about $150. So either we found a couple other things that we shut off too, or those two items were very expensive items. Yeah, this is pretty tall over here. And now I got a better looking paint job that I don't want to mess up. I don't want to get on that red. I don't think I have any more red. I guess I better buy more red. I see the bottom is starting to show signs of water damage. I need to coat that with lots of paint. I know why. If we look up, the water runs down from the edge of the house or the end of the gutter and it drops right there. So I'm going to have to do something to keep the water from pooling in this corner of the house. Our gutters are really poor. They've got seams and the seams leak like crazy. I've tried all kinds of things to seal the gutter seams. Nothing works. I have not tried that spray Flex Seal or whatever they call it. Somebody said that works pretty good. I'll have to try that. Not today though. Not when they're full of rotten leaves. And it's now starting to mist a little bit out. Getting in the corners is the hardest part to do because you gotta like squish the paintbrush into the corners. Angle you down a little. I can turn you. Slowly getting there. Finding more spots where I need to repair some boards. Yeah. We're gonna need our own lumber mill to repair all these boards. It's not all of them. It's just there's a few areas where we get water damage, and then we're gonna have to remove or cut apart a few of the boards and patch in sections. And that's the reason why we're painting, because paint protects it from the weather. And if we don't paint, the paint eventually wears off with the rain, and then the boards get wet. This is the back corner of the house here in the shade, north side. We don't come back here that often. Got a large glob of paint on there, making sure I spin it so it doesn't drip. Yeah, painting the corner here. Painting the nooks and crannies is the hard part. And of course painting high too. Okay, pretty soon I'm gonna have to get the ladder again. Oh, now I'm doing left-handed. That's no fun because we're in the corner. Well, that's no good. We got dirt there. Cobwebs. Let me go grab my paper towels. Yeah, maybe we could have pressure washed the house first, but then that's all I'd be doing today is pressure washing the house, not painting. Then the house probably won't get painted the next year, and then it'd need to be pressure washed again. And well, then I wouldn't be painting because I'd be pressure washing. So sometimes you just gotta suck it up and you gotta paint the bugs. Right, I'm gonna set this down because I might need it again. There we go. Now we're doing some left-hand painting. Nice and pretty. This is my left hand. Hopefully I don't mess up and paint our red trim. Uh-oh, I hear lawnmower. Hopefully that kid on the lawnmower did his school. This isn't easy with my left hand. Doing some kind of backwards. Tip my finger painting. I'm gonna have to use my right hand, otherwise I'm gonna miss and go splat. I might paint that anyways, but just in case I don't, let's not splat paint in a larger area. we go. I think I need the ladder now. Oh, I hear the lawnmower coming. I hear the lawnmower going. Let me go get the ladder. It's right there. Figure out how to set it up here. There we go. That's a pretty good view. Except I think you'll fall. Let's get you more level. There we go. Yeah, thanks for those of you who are watching. I know it's kind of boring. Oh, I see a missed spot. There we go. Sometimes you need to back up a little so you can get the overall picture and see where you missed. Now comes the hard part, because I need to get on the ladder and I need to paint up and over and back down. And if I drip, it's going to drip on the window or that stainless steel or the red trim. So let's hope I don't drip. Let's set up the ladder here. We'll see. That's not too bad. Stomping down the grass so I can set you down. A lot of weeds here. No good. Sorry for bumping you around so much. I think I gotta set you where you were. There we go. All right, so for a couple minutes here, there's no way I'm gonna be able to hear. Well, I can't hear nothing you guys are saying. There's no way I'm gonna be able to read anything you're saying, so it shouldn't take too long, but have fun watching. You know what? Before I do that, before I get it all wet with paint, I'm going to rip some of those weeds out of the gutter because it's going to make a mess. Wow. Clean your gutters. You don't want them to look like that. You can tell I didn't do it last year. All the pine needles from these trees, they blow down, they land on the roof, and then they slide down and they fill the gutter. Yeah. And then they grow roots. Because not only do you have the needles, you get the little doilies from the maple trees over there. All right, I think we can paint now. Got mosquitoes biting me. Left-handed painting while on a ladder, that's no fun. Now I gotta get higher. Let's paint this area. Looking good. Heard a ding. Can't tell what it is though. I'm up on the ladder. Ain't Got to paint the areas we can't see too. We're doing this because we're weather protecting it, not just to make it look good. That's part of it too, though. Ooh, we had some drips. Don't want it to drip here. I'm going to stop right here. That might be a different day. Stop up at this line right there. That way it doesn't look awkward. Okay, this is the area we don't want to drip. Just a little bit in the corner. I'm left-handed though. Wasn't that so exciting? Sorry I couldn't talk to you guys while I was up there. That's too far away. I could have yelled. Got blue paint. Let me grab my towel here quick. Here we are. You got these awesome shop towels. You guys got these? Why not? We bought them in rolls. We thought we were getting a great deal. We're like, yeah, a giant roll. I mean, it was like, the rolls are like that big around. Well, turns out they were only this wide though. So now we got rolls of shop towels that are only that wide. It works though. It's just not as nice as having a big flat sheet because you gotta like bunch it up to get your shop towel out of it. Okay. That wall is done. Oh, a little bit of drip up there on that upper part. It'll dry. I think someday I'll do that line going up, that wall going up the roof line right there, but not today. So, what we did today was paint this area right here. You can tell the different color than the normal wall. And then we painted that area. That's what we done. Someday I got to get on the roof by the power line and paint that wall right there. And then the back side. When I was on the roof, I didn't do the back side because there were hornets. And I bet they're still there since we haven't had frost. Need to replace some of these windows. Like those two. Those windows are garbage. Painting the house. Just wondering if I should paint any more. There goes Cat. I don't know what time it is. It's probably at least 10:30. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, get a drink of coffee, and then decide if I want to paint more or do something different. Painting's kind of boring. I'm sure you guys agree. All three of you watching. Thank you for those who are watching. I know it's not exciting. Here we are in the woods. Dropped a couple trees down recently, dead ones. For wood for the wood splitter. Yeah, so that's another possibility of doing today. I don't know if I will or not. Let me go get a drink and we'll see how the day goes. So for now, I think I'm gonna call this live stream quits so I can go figure out what to do next. You guys, thank you for watching. I might or might not be back on later today. Tonight I have to go help lead a class at church if I don't get called into work. So it means I better clean up my hands, but that's still like 6 hours from now, 7 hours. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one.